Welcome to my channel. Make sure you subscribe, like and comment.
Hello guys, welcome once again. So today we're going to be talking about Married to Medicine episode 11. And before we talk about the episode, how are you going to rate this episode?
Ooh, oh my goodness. It was a lot going on. Um, mm, I mean, hmm. Girl, look, I, I love Married to Medicine, but I don't want to see him act like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
as far as keeping my attention, uh, I would definitely have to say it was a good 6 on keeping my attention, you know, because I'm
Mhm.
trying to understand and trying to say, okay, why are you guys letting it go this far? Where are the adults at? You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yeah, I give it about a 6 as far as keeping my attention. It
Yeah, I'm
wasn't it
also there.
wasn't the vibe that I was expecting.
Mhm.
How do you
I
rate
would
it?
also give I would also give it that vibe. Like it was like I was like, okay, I want to see what's gonna happen next. It gave me that feeling. Um But was it what I was expecting them to be doing as people that claim they are grown ups and matured? No. Well, at the end of the day, we all say we are mature. Sometimes we act out. So I guess this is one of
Yeah.
those times.
Oh yeah.
Well, anyway, let's talk about this episode and quickly, fastly, because I have something to do, but let's talk about the main thing that happened in today's episode. We
Mhm.
started off, they woke up after the initial quarrel during the last episode 9 of Dr. G and Quad, and Dr. G was his wife. We remember that he walked out of Sweetie. Sweetie was searching for him and he walked out on
Right.
her, which later that morning they were like discussing about it. One thing
Hmm.
I would say is that last week I did say that Quad kind of, she wasn't speaking. But I remember that I did say that she was drunk
Right.
in last when we were reviewing last week. I said Quad was drunk. Now,
Hmm.
and I said I wasn't going to excuse what she said because she was drunk, but I understand that sometimes when we're drunk, we just, pour out all our feelings and say things that we would not have said if we were like sober, right?
Right.
And the thing that now got me in this episode was that Dr. G then said that I know she was drunk. Yes, because he has been married to this lady for like 11 years. So, of
Hmm.
course, you should know how she does, what she does, how her countenance is when she's drunk. My
Right.
problem now goes further that if at that moment you knew she was drunk and you've seen this so many times when she's drunk, she acts out or says things, why were you responding? Why were you triggered? Because I believe I have a friend, when she's drunk, she becomes very chatty, she
Hmm.
becomes very loud.
Hmm.
She, when she's laughing, she's beating on you when she's laughing. She becomes like that when she's drunk. Right. So
Okay.
anything she says or does during that period, I don't take it up on. I don't respond. I don't, even if I'm responding to be like I'm joking over it, like I'm laughing or I'm playful over it, I will not take it serious. Right. And if there's
Hmm.
anything I felt like, okay, this is out of bounds, I will wait till she's sober and say, babes, do you remember what happened last night? This is what you said. And then everybody is sober. You can either, oh, I apologize, I was high and everything. But this lady was kind of drunk and high. Then you were sober. If there was somebody that was supposed to be responsible, wasn't it Dr. G? You were sober, she was drunk. Not excusing anything. right? But I believe
Right.
for someone that is sober and considering that somebody that is drunk and you knew she was drunk, why were you then reacting? That means her reaction was coming from a drunken state of you. Because I'm pretty sure if you were sober and you knew that she was drunk, you would have reacted the same way that she reacted.
Uh-oh, your voice just went out. I can't hear you no more. Yuzo, I can't hear you. Okay, well, let me just give you my take on it since right now we can't hear you. Um, they say that when you're under the influence of alcohol, the truth, your truth, comes out. Been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, sometimes it's stuff you really want to get off your chest, but sometimes you hold it in, and then once that liquor hit from the liquor store, yeah, it's like all bets are off. I'm gonna let you know how I feel, you know, because this is coming from a deep hurt here. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, in any woman's defense who's been through um, any domesticated offenses by someone they love, I feel that she's entitled to her truth. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, only person that knows who did what, who said what, is her story, his story, the history of what really happened, and Almighty God, you know? So I just look at it like, hey, to keep the flames down, maybe Dr. G should have been like, what he was telling Letitia to do. Hey, we're going to be cool. You know what I'm saying? He could have waited and let, uh, I can't think, oh, King handle the situation, like try and let her know, hey, babe, like, let's reel this in, it's me and you now, not the two of you. Let's not go back there. Stay here with me. You know what I'm saying? So, what I was saying while you were off is,
Yeah.
you know, um, I feel that sometimes when you're hurt deep down inside and you're drinking alcohol,
Yeah.
sometimes that pain comes out and you're
Yeah.
able to express more how you feel about what
Yeah.
injustices that you have felt within that household or with your spouse or with your loved one who you felt
Yeah.
like totally dominated you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To the place of pain, to where now it gets triggered. You know what I'm saying? Every time you see their face is triggered, especially with some alcohol. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying
Yeah.
that I felt that Quad is entitled to her feelings, because
Yeah.
nobody was there besides her, him, the history of
Yeah.
what happened, and God Almighty. You know what I'm saying? And as far as Dr. G goes, maybe he should have followed his own advice that he gave Letitia, like, hey, boo, we cool. We not going to
Yeah.
intertwine with this.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be the bigger person to kind of direct
Mm-hmm.
or try
Yeah.
to see through a situation way before it happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of look like she was bringing her feelings. He was kind of like bringing the little sarcastic, snabby little remarks and stuff. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt like none of that was really necessary on his part. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because in the end, he was the victor of the end of that marriage. He had ended up with the house. She had to
Mhm.
start from scratch. He kept his career. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I,
He didn't lose anything.
exactly. His life carried on after that.
Yeah. His life moved on. Yeah.
Yeah, and she had to kind of like
Unlike some
rebuild
people,
herself. Well, yeah, she had to
unlike
kind of.
some people, something would have twisted in their lives. They would have lost something, either their careers, their reputation, something like that. But he didn't.
Well, or
Um.
or or he would have had to, go 50-50,
Mm-hmm.
or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something. You know what I'm saying? Besides bad
Exactly.
memories, besides bad memories, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he won already. You know what I'm saying? So, if she got anything to say, you know, that's nothing. You won, buddy, already. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you the dude, you the man. You know what I'm saying? So why you arguing with
Mhm.
her? Why are you bleeding into it? Why are you feeling it? Why are you in your
Why are you feeling
feelings?
hurt?
Why are you in
Why
your
are you caring?
feelings? Yeah, why are you in
Why are
your
you
feelings?
caring?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he was saying that, I was like, you're giving advice, but can you take it? And an example of giving advice is simple, taking it is hard, was when later on during the episode we saw the guys, stayed somewhere else, and the guys were kind of praising King for being calm after what happened the previous night, and it was like, oh, thank you, you know what, you guys were welcoming, you guys were great with me. And
Mhm.
they started talking about it, and Dr. G was like, oh, okay, I don't know you, blah, blah, blah. Where I feel like he fucked up was for him to repeat the same insult he gave to Quad in the presence of her new man. Felt like that was dumb.
Yeah, that was a dumb move on
Yeah,
him that he was playing. He was playing checkers while this boy King is playing chess. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So why even repeat something negative?
Mm-hmm.
He could have just kept it
About
at
his
that.
girlfriend.
Yeah, he could have
Yeah.
just kept it at that, and left it, leave it alone.
Yeah, he could have just left, like this. Is it not the same advice he was giving Sweetie? Leave it, wrap it up. Let's go
Yeah,
on.
move on to something
You
else.
can't even take your own advice for 1 minute.
Nah, you
You
know,
went there and
I,
he was like, when immediately he says that, I said, oh no,
yeah, I think it's
this.
it's it's like a a pissing contest who see who could piss the furthest or something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I mean, back
mm,
in the day, it was me and my brothers. Now we would see who could spit the furthest. you know, so yeah. But I'm just saying, I just felt like it was that male thing, that guys do. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because
And the
why
way
why did
he
he
and the
why
way
did he
he said
even
it so confidently, like as if every man would want to hear an insult that another man gave their wife or their
well,
girlfriends.
why
Like,
would you say that you'll find out, you know, you'll find out how she
I'm
is
not even talking about
and
that part first. I'm talking about the fact that he said that. And I feel, for
Mhm.
me, I felt like he was trying to feel out King. And when he was saying that moment of, I said she was dumb, fuck, blah, 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 and he was like, did you say that? He said yes. And he was shocked because probably he didn't hear that with all the
Mhm.
conversation that was happening. He didn't hear that. And I was like, oh,
Mhm.
if he said that, then you need to apologize to her. Yes, that's his girlfriend. He doesn't want her to be hearing that kind of dumb shit from anybody,
Mhm.
especially from a man. And I stand with that. I stand with that. I'm not
Right.
saying, neither am I saying that Quad is an innocent, good person, like the greatest of all. No, but I stand with what King is doing, because there's no woman that me myself. I will not allow my man to stand there and watch another man insult me and literally just stand there looking.
Right.
I don't care if I'm wrong.
Not,
My
no, you're
man should
not
stand for
wrong.
me.
No, you're not wrong. Not at all. You
Stand
know.
for me no matter what's up. Like if another man is saying shit about me, stand for me. And that is what King did. And I stand with that. And he,
Hmm.
that moment he was on with the cig, I don't know whether the cigar was making him feel like a boss. He stood up and went to King's face. I was like, you know what? I was like, guy, what are you doing? I don't
Yeah.
know whether he was trying to intimidate King, but I'm like, look at you and look at him. And I already knew. See, let me tell you, I deduced that he was feeling inferior to King. Imagine, you remember when the what's his name? Toya's husband, Eugene, was like, oh, thank you, King, for opening your shirt for all the ladies, right?
Yeah.
And he laughed it up, and they did that joke thing about who's gonna do how many people can do 25 press ups. And I saw Dr. G like forcing himself. I was like, man, you're too old for this dumb shit. Even Scott even noticed this. I was like, that was very uncomfortable because no, I don't understand. Like, who is he competing with? Because you could see the other guys being like, no, 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 that's not for me. You
Hmm.
know, we will
Right.
not be coming here to do that competition with you. If there's anybody that should be in that competition, should be King and Scott. They are the young guys in the group. King and
Hmm.
Scott should be the ones doing that competition. And he put it himself to do Letitia, 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 Letitia. I was like, what the heck? What the heck? It was so uncomfortable for me to watch. Then seeing him having that argument with and he was the one having the argument with King. Then he walking up to and King's like King was hearing you, like you could hear yourselves. Why did you have to walk up to him and go straight to his face? Like, then if someone slaps you, be like, "Oh, you slapped me." Like, why would you come to my face? Like, why would you? What were you looking for in my face? Wasn't I hearing you before when you were speaking? Did you have to come to my face to say what you have to say? You know, that was when then I noticed like he was trying to kind of feel out King and he was trying to intimidate him. But man, King was not the kind of person to be intimidated. If that worked for him when he was dating Quad, I don't know whether he doesn't know that Quad is different from King is different from Quad in a total different light. Then King decided to pull him in and said, okay, let's have a chat. Let's talk about this. Next time, if my girl says something to you, tell me. Me and my girl we squash it. But don't say things to my girl. And he was feeling a certain kind of way. And I remember this was the same thing Dr. G and Dr. Damon talked about, right? And they
Right.
accepted that they are going to leave the women to battle it out. But if, as a guy, you have an issue with a woman in the same group, in that group, you talk to the husbands
Right.
or talk to the man in their life. They
Right.
had that agreement between them before when Dr. G and Dr. Damon had their fight. So
Right.
now why is it different when King is saying the same thing to you, Dr. G?
Hmm.
That thing that pissed him off was when he said, so should I allow her to say what she wants to say, whatever she wants to say? And he said, yes. Let
Hmm.
her say, I don't know whether he was thinking he was going to say, yeah, I know I'm going to put a gag on her. You know,
Right.
I I think he knows that for um Quad to let go of whatever she wants to let go, she has to say what she wants to say. You
Hmm.
can't let go of something if you don't say what you feel.
True.
If you bottle it up, you keep on being a trauma in your life till the day you leave this earth. So I know he recognizes that Quad has to say what's in her mind, but he knows that yes, it might be detrimental. She might say something of, but he knows that these two people they are clashing, and I think that was the best advice, Dr. Damon. I want to beg you, if my girl comes to say anything to you, or if there's another opportunity where she says anything to you, please and please come back to me with what she said. I'm going to
Yeah.
apologize to you. Scam. I'm going to apologize to you. And we know, of course, he's going to have to talk to his girl and be like, this is what happened. Why did you do this? But that's not Dr. G's problem. He's not supposed to tell Dr. G that. And Dr. G
Right.
was like, and at that moment, Dr. G was now on his face, she's gonna do that to you. She's gonna do what? Because she divorced you? Your marriage ended bad? Of course, see, there is always going to be breakups and anything. Nobody knows how long this relationship between Quad and this guy might last. Something might happen tomorrow, they might not be together. But does it mean that Quad is a bad person? Does it mean that King is a bad person? No. So, and we don't also know what might happen between C and Dr. G. Tomorrow we might hear that there's a divorce.
Right.
We might, you can't anticipate, because I don't know what he thinks. That's me. I don't just understand his point of view when he said that statement that she's gonna do what she did to you. Like, I don't know what he was trying to prove. Whether he was trying to pull at um King's thing, and the way he came. See, at that moment when he was at King's face, he first started it. I don't know whether I'm wrong, but this is my point of view. So if you have a different point of view, you can say it. But my own point of view, I felt like he started the bullshit, and he didn't know how to end the bullshit. And somebody had to end it for him, because he coming to his face. This is the second time he has come to his face like that. The first time he was calm, and now he's no longer calm, because I think at that moment in King's mind is like, you know what, I'm trying to be nice to you, but it seems like you don't want to have brains, so I'm gonna keep my niceness somewhere. Then he was like, you know what, legs, yes. And he was the one that started throwing hands, like not like throwing hands to beat someone, but like flinging the hands in the air, like and yeah, King decided to finish it. And I don't know, everybody will be like, mm-mm-mm, this person is wrong, Dr. G was wrong, the King was wrong. For me, the only thing I saw that was wrong in that conversation was that I think at that time that King called Dr. G to have that conversation, it was not right. But apart from that, I stand with King. That's just my own opinion about that whole altercation and the fight. And I felt like it could have been avoided if Dr. G just shut the fuck up.
Okay, you know how I kind of look at this, because I always have like a different excuse me sight on things.
Yeah,
I look at Quad as a unhealed woman
yeah,
from her past marriage. She's not healed all the way, because
yeah.
look, I could be in front of my ex-husband and
And I don't care.
no, well, I'm just saying, all the rotten shit that I have been through with him. I would look. I I could look at him, or probably not even look at him, and act like I don't even know him. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
It's just gonna depend on how I feel, but I have no words. I'm not giving you my energy. Some people are on this earth to steal your energy. you know? And hey, have you ever been somewhere where you're sitting around and all of a sudden somebody starts talking to you, and you say something nice to them, right? And the next thing you know,
Hmm.
they're telling you their whole life story, and all of a sudden you start feeling sick inside, like they're
Hmm.
just
Yeah.
draining you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, see, Quad needs to heal. You know, even though King may be a good man, I just think maybe this is the wrong time. You
For
know what
them
I'm
to
saying?
date.
Yeah. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That
Because
part I agree with you.
yeah, there's no way that my ex
But I
and
also
I
think
and
that
I'm on a
Dr.
and
G
I'm on
too
a
needs
trip
to
with
heal
another
too.
well, but I'm on a trip with another dude. Ain't no way.
But I
I'm gonna
also
let
think that Dr.
my
G too
ex
needs
mess
to.
it up. Say what?
Well, I was saying that I also think that Dr. G too needs to heal, because I don't think he too has healed.
No, he hasn't. He
And his own
hasn't.
is worse because he's married.
Well, yeah, I mean, with his thing, is he feels like, Quad had great attributes towards that marriage. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Sweet Tea doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes when a man lets a good woman go, and then they see that she kind of bounces back, and still looking good and not all raggedy and toe up like he kind of thought she would. You know what I'm saying? And maybe looking a little bit better than she did when she was with him. Sometimes they hate that shit. Even though they don't want to be with him, they just hate that shit because they're jealous.
Mm-hmm.
You can have an ex-mate that is actually jealous of you. You can have a boyfriend that's jealous of you. You can have a husband that's jealous of you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because you make struggling look easy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And they don't understand why you keep landing on your feet.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
That's right.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think Dr. G is going through some of that. And no, he's not healed. He's still kind of damaged goods, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
Quad needs to kind of soul search before she really starts dating. Because that's how people
Mm.
get hurt. That's how people get hurt.
Yeah. And
Because
that's
see
how
that,
they also hurt other people
well, yeah, this man is out here defending your honor when you shouldn't have even been.
in that
Hey,
situation.
the marriage was over. It's done. You're here with someone else on a wonderful trip at a sandbar. All black people partying, having a good time. Oh my God, we have been taking pictures. Built made me a sand castle. You know what I'm saying? Let's do something up here. You know what I'm saying? Like let's get into some poetry. Like let's see if some of y'all could rap, play some music, let's dance. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Where's the food? Like, you know, instead,
Mm-hmm.
they were finding shit to bicker about. Well, you said this, well, I said that, well, I meant this, well, she was too loud, she was too ghetto. Like, damn. I that's what I said. I expected a little bit more from them. You know what I'm saying? It was like, where was the common sense? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The both of them were wrong. Me saying that I take King's side doesn't mean that I said Quad and see. I said it in
Well,
last week's review. Quad and Dr. G, they have problems.
right.
Problems.
I didn't say King was wrong. Because
Oh,
King is the type of person I see that, if you with me, I'ma defend you.
mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with a man like that. You know what I'm
There's
saying?
nothing
But
wrong. Oh, I want that
yeah,
kind of
but
man.
you gotta have a healed woman though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No.
saying?
Yeah.
So
That
you're not defending her trauma.
exactly. See, you know what? Me see. As much as I said King was right, I'm one person that does not advocate for being in a relationship with someone that hasn't healed from their trauma. I don't advocate that. Um, I don't
Well,
like
you know what?
that. Yeah,
Sometimes you can't tell if a person's healed from their trauma until you're actually in the midst
in
of that
there.
relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
Because
It's true.
everybody's not going to tell the truth.
And sometimes you yourself will think you've healed from your trauma
Yeah,
until you put yourself in a situation. You will just be like, "Oh wow, I thought I've healed."
yeah.
Currently, I haven't because I have been in that kind of situation before where I thought that I'd overcome something
Mm-hmm.
and something then happened, and after everything that went on, after all the things, I was like, when I go back and I sat down, I was like, wow, I did think that I had overcome this, thought I'd gone over it, I thought I've healed. Well, it seems like I still needed more healing. Another thing about healing is that I think it's just take it one day at a time. But I still think like, see, I understand why Quad got a boyfriend. Some people don't
Mm-hmm.
like being lonely. You get but I still think that you should. I don't think you should cost your life. I think you should let the person know, and I think you should be considerate of the person that you're dating. If you have like you still have some shit to deal with,
Right.
Me, I still have some shit to deal with. Why, the reason why I was in a relationship for a while was because I was dealing with some shit. Even now, when I decided, okay, fine, I want to start giving relationship in another go, I know that I still have some things to deal with. So I always let you know that, okay, I still have some things to do with. So don't come thinking that your meeting name is perfect.
Right.
You get. So in case one time or situation happens and I get to that moment where you just be like, oh wow, she really hasn't really that healed, well, you won't be surprised. And I think maybe that's the kind of relationship they have, because I feel like maybe he already knows that she hasn't healed from this and they are taking it one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is that kind of thing. Like I said, I got in that situation that day and I did not understand, I did not believe that I would explode that extent. And because I felt that I'd actually, overseen, well, I mean, passed that situation, but apparently I haven't. So maybe this is one of those things, because you
Mm-hmm.
could see that in the next day, the next day, this whole altercation, this day she avoided Dr. G, she avoided Sweetie, she like literally, she just, tried to forget it.
Right.
So it shows me that at least she's trying. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Only God knows what went on in that marriage. We would never know. We were not
True.
there. So she was
True.
the one that went through it, got through everything, So I think let her heal at whatever pace, at whatever time. And I hope that um King will be that one person for her. This comment said, wow. King approach King approach was appropriate initially. Dr. G was out of line the way he was speaking. I think the men agreed. He's extremely unaware and surprisingly disrespectful. Yeah. He was, firstly, the way he said that, the way he repeated the insult he told Quad, and the way he was all in the face of King. But how did you feel about that fight? Did you feel like it could have been avoided, it was worth it, or you know
Well, I mean, when emotions are flared up and you're flaring your arms up, and you
yeah,
acting like you want the smoke,
yeah,
I don't know how many times King said, hey, like, nah, this ain't gonna happen. I'm telling you, that ain't
mm-hmm,
what you want. Like, please stop. STOP. I mean, like, how many times could he say it? How many ways could he say it? You know what I'm saying? When you got a person who keeps giving you warnings, you gotta expect, especially, you know, with these emotions going on, you gotta expect that somebody's gonna snap. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
Somebody's gonna snap. Once the guys got in the middle of them, Dr. G kept talking, flaring his arms, sound like he was getting louder, and they trying to push King over to the other side. Next thing you know, you see King take off his shirt and he's like, shit, I'm about to
yeah,
play football right here. I'm about to come tackle you. You know what I'm saying? Dr. G
mm-hmm,
wasn't ready for all that. He thought that they were gonna keep him over there and keep him over here. And, they could keep on, you know, saying whatever they saying and, you know, things would be at that, and Dr. G felt like, hey, I'm standing up for myself. And,
mm-hmm,
all he had to do was like, bro, you know what? Yeah, let's squash this. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Next time
A-
she
and the,
says something, I'm coming straight to you.
Yeah, to you, yeah. And when
you
he,
know,
I mean, and when he said, I'm a doctor, I don't need to be coming to you. Who are you? Like that kind of thing, trying to compare their their job description. I was like, no, that was
yeah,
lame of
their
Dr. G.
status, their social status is different.
That was that was lame of Dr. G.
Yeah, it was. That absolutely has nothing to do with how a marriage ends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can have the greatest job in the world and the most beautiful wife, but if you're an asshole, you're an asshole. If you disrespect your marriage is gonna end. You see what I'm saying? You could be the brokest person in the world, working two, three jobs, have the not most attractive woman in the world, but yet it's still a good woman, and everything works out. You see what I'm saying? Money has nothing to do with it. It's all how you treat a person. You know what I'm saying? You treat a person
Yeah.
good, they're willing to go to bat for you because you're
Mm-hmm.
going to bat for them. You have money and you treat a person rotten, you think they supposed to stick around? Who want to waste their life?
Mm.
When you can keep building and rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, Dr. G got it twisted. Money has nothing to do with it. Character is everything.
That see when he said that thing, I was like, "Oh, Dr. J has lost me." He has lost me because because one thing maybe because of let's say is the kind of thing we go through here in Africa because if you're not a doctor, you're not a lawyer, you're not an engineer, they
Mhm.
don't really like see you as someone serious. It's just recently
Wow.
like the world is getting vast that people then see that there is football, there is music, there is acting, there are other things that you can literally do,
Right.
right? And be good at that thing and people appreciate you.
Yeah.
In those days, if you were going to school, if you were not going to be a doctor, a lawyer, and an engineer, there was no other profession.
Right. But you know what? I look at it like this. Uh, Everybody's gifted. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You just have to know how to tap into
So your
what
gift.
feels good and
Mm-hmm.
what um is marketable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can
Yeah.
let's say you know how to mend clothes very well, and you have a mind's eye, and you know how to put fashions together, and but you
Yeah.
know how to sew. Why not start designing some stuff that you don't see everybody wearing, but you know somebody's gonna like it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a gift. Everybody, you know, and that's why we all need each other, because we all
Mm-hmm.
have a gift. We all got something to contribute,
Mm-hmm.
to make this world a better place and a much easier place for us all.
Mm. Yeah. Exactly. So that part when he said that, I was like, no, he lost me there because when we were growing up to knowing that those were the only three professions that was respected, and now we've grown up, we realize that that's not the only professions that is respected. There are other professions you can be in and be good at it and do well, you know. And he
Mhm.
coming and be like, "Oh, I'm a medical doctor. I don't have to be arguing with people." I'm like, "Oh no, no." You are a medical doctor. King might be as the same wealthy as you are. So I don't know what's the argument is all about. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, yeah, that part lost me and I didn't like that. But did you see the way Sweetie and Quad were running?
Yes, it's hard to run on sand.
My God. They were
Yes.
sprinting.
Yes, but you know what? I see that sweet tea. She her senses was up. She was like she didn't want to leave her man because she knew
Yeah.
something was about to jump off. You know
She
what I'm
knew her
saying?
husband's temper. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, but you looking at the size of King. You know what I'm saying? And King is like, let me talk to you for a minute. You know,
Mm.
and Greg is like trying to hold sweet tea, and he's like, just calm down. You love me, you gonna calm down, calm down. you know. And then he was like, all right, go over here, let me talk to King. And she was like, no, 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 you know. And Phaedra's, come on, uh, uh, Chance, he'll be there if something goes down.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, she knew something was about to jump off because I'm pretty sure the look that King had in his eye when he said, I want to talk to you, you know, and Greg just thought he could just be sarcastic, and kind of puff his chest up like, yeah,
Maybe
I
because
said
I
it.
feel like he's the new guy. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna give him a little bit of
yeah, let me puff my chest up and say, yeah, I said it. Yeah, she got a big mouth, and yeah, you see, and oh yeah, I figured y'all was like the same. That's why y'all together. Like, dude, you saying all the wrong shit. You know what I'm saying? You're antagonizing a person at this point. You know what I'm saying?
uh-huh.
So that's how I looked at
Yeah,
it. Like, why are you fanning the fucking flames? You want that smoke, right? Right, right. You want all that smoke from that young dude, right? You know, when you could barely get them push-ups out, you know?
yeah. Yeah. Not the push up.
Shit. So
God.
it
Oh,
was
Jesus
crazy. It was
Christ.
crazy. But I wanted to talk
Yeah,
about real quick before we forget how
yeah,
Quad, after
yeah.
the first argument, they were on the boat. Quad went to
Mm.
Apollo and she was like, hey, how do you know, dude? And Apollo was like, that's my boy. Like,
Oh,
I'm
check
like,
and that part. I was like, what are we doing here? Because I was
yeah,
confused. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Check is your friend. He comes to your house to have dinner and everything, and he went on the speed date and decided that it was Phaedra he wanted to be close with. That's giving bullshit.
I think maybe Check did his homework. You know what I'm saying? And he
You
was
think
like,
he wanted to be on TV?
yeah, why not? Why not? He didn't tell uh, uh, Apollo anything about who he dated. He's been over to his house. They kick it around each other. They homies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but not like it really matters because they've been divorced for 7 years, and while you were married to Phaedra, you was sleeping with your side chick who you later on married. So why does it matter who she's with? I mean, I know it's kind of sneaking a little bit underhanded, but hey, maybe maybe they both did their homework. Maybe they both knew at a certain point. Phaedra found out who she was really dealing with and just said, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he did his homework because he was like, you know what? I, I could use the exposure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. You never
Because for
know.
me, the situation was very fucked up. Because one, I know Heavenly is a shady person,
Right.
right? I
Right.
know Heavenly is very shady.
Yeah, she does
Now,
shit.
so she have invited Apollo without telling at the first place without telling
Phaedra.
Phaedra.
Mm.
Then she told Phaedra. At least I respected her for saying it so that it should not be an element of surprise. Phaedra was coming to that party alone at first, but I think immediately she heard that Apollo was coming, she decided to bring check. And Apollo himself said at first, because when Phaedra asked him, when Heavenly asked him, are you bringing your wife? She said, no, his wife is busy or whatever.
Right.
Now his wife came. Phaedra
Mm-hmm.
heard that Apollo was coming, decided to bring check. I felt like the four of them, they, they were just playing a game.
Mm.
They were just fucking playing a game. That's what I just think. The whole situation was funny to me because how can Check be very close to them, literally like a family member, eat food from them, go to their house for parties, for events, and you go to an event, a speed dating event, and you've picked up Phaedra, you no. Then Phaedra herself heard that this guy knew of Apollo and also knew. See, the moment that guy with see, if I was Phaedra, the moment the guy tells me I know Apollo, I know the his wife, yeah, that's over for me.
Right. I mean, yeah. For me too, it would have been yeah. Okay, cool. You know 'em.
Yeah.
So I
That would be
want to
our
know
first
you.
and last date.
Well, yeah, it'd have been done. It'd have been a done data right there. You know what I'm saying? But I think that, maybe Phaedra, maybe she was doing it because, hey, I'm grown. He's moved on. Maybe she didn't know to the extent, you know, who he really was to Apollo. You know what I'm saying? And then again, maybe she did her homework and she was like, hey, let him see how it feels. You know what I'm saying? I'm having fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my fun era. I'm outside. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you're booed up and you're married. you
Mm-hmm.
know so what does it matter? Why are you clocking my coochie coupons? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly. They've been divorced for how many years? Why do you care?
Yeah, she said 7. That's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
7 years. You can go
But do
get
you
a
think?
master's degree. Like, dude, stop.
But do you, but do you think he cared because it was check, or because he just cared in general?
Hey, you know what? Look, I look at it like this. And I'm not even a dude. But if I was a dude, if somebody comes behind and wants to get where I used to be, if they want that spot, take it. I'm no longer there. You know what I'm saying? It's almost
Mm-hmm.
like if I'm going to um, trade my car in and I see somebody, uh, one of my friends end up getting a car and they're driving it around and they're sporting it around. I evidently, if I traded it in, I didn't want it. And for two, I'm in something better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's still got the same old tires on it, all the miles. Hell, I'm in something better.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So, and I'm not a dude. I'm just, you know, just trying to let you know where I am with that. I wouldn't care. Be with that person. I don't care. I'm not there no more. There's a reason why I left,
Mm-hmm.
because maybe I wanted my own green grass, you know, instead of
Mm-hmm.
seeing the grass is green on the other side. Maybe I wanted my own damn green grass, let him keep that grass. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Well, the whole for me the whole situation was very funny, and you know what? And Quad being like, "Yeah, this is how it feels when you." Quad was very funny with that statement when you say you can bring the exes.
Yeah. But that's what they got in common, though. That's what they have in common. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They've both
Yeah.
been through bad marriages, and now they're divorced, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that should bring them a little closer. Come on, y'all sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You both have failed marriages because, you know, both of your guys, they wanted to be all hands on, if you get my drift.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like being kind of against each other or tit for tat with each other, They should get a grip on that because hell, they both were did the same damn way,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
And you guys
I
both were afraid of your husbands at the end.
uh-huh. You know what they say? Nobody knows how it is feeling until you also have that you get go through that experience. All
Right.
those ladies didn't know what Quad was going through emotionally when they invited Sweetie to come into the midst. See, I'm not gonna lie. I like Sweetie,
Yeah, me too.
right?
Hmm.
I like Sweetie. I'm not gonna lie. She was a good addition to the show, but at this moment, I'm gonna kindly say she needs to leave the show.
You think
Um.
so?
Yeah, because she be ranting online too much. You don't always like go on social media and be checking on them. I
Uh,
be checking on them every time. She every other week.
mm,
Sweet Tea is always on some shit.
mm,
She's always talking of one thing or the other. This one did me. This one did that. This one did this. Like
oh
it's not
damn.
always that you will be the victim. And if you keep on playing you're the victim every time, people get exhausted
Right. I mean,
over that.
I look at it like this: big T, I mean, little T, sweet T. I'm sorry. God damn it, sweet T. Sweet Tea. She she's learned how to kind of take care of herself because I feel like she's speaking up for herself now. You know what I'm saying? Where
Mhm.
first she was kind of like,
No, she's speaking. She's speaking. See, the difference between speaking up for yourself and now it now becomes like obsessiveness. She's becoming like a downgraded version of Dr. Heavenly.
well, that's
Dr.
not
Heavenly
good.
come,
That's not good.
yeah.
You
Dr.
know what I'm
Heavenly comes
saying?
online. Like I'm expecting her to do a video today. Maybe if she has not even dropped the video, I'm gonna go check later on. She will do a video talk about review the show. Sweetie now reviews the show, right? You don't do you know she reviews the show?
What for? She
No,
lived it.
she didn't.
Why
She
review it?
started reviewing from
So
the
she's
first
doing her.
episode.
So basically, she's doing her own damn reunion with herself.
No, she
Oh,
came. She no, she came to the reunion.
yeah, but I'm just saying. You said she's reviewing every
Yeah, she's
show.
reviewing the show. Yeah, she's
Okay,
reviewing the
so
show. Yeah,
that's basically like being a commentator and a cheerleader and
yeah,
one of the athletes.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So she's
everything's gonna go in your favor though.
exactly because you're not gonna paint yourself as a bad person while reviewing the show, and you are
Yeah,
also on the show. You're never gonna
exactly.
paint yourself as a bad person. Every other person will have to be bad. That's the problem. Now that is where the problem is. Where you have to paint yourself as the good person, the nice person, now last season when they were kicking Quad out of the group, Quad was the bad person, Quad was this. Now it seems like the ladies have turned against her. And this was the same thing this was the thing. I don't know whether we can remember last season when we were saying I said Sweetie should not be happy now because these ladies can turn on her any moment.
Right.
I think I was saying that I felt like she should stand on her own from last season because these ladies
Mhm.
could turn on her any moment. Now the thing I said is coming to pass because now they're turning on her. Every week she's always complaining about one person, talking shit about one person whenever she's doing a show. Last week she went as well as far as saying that Toya was the one that brought her to the show and literally told her that she should go against Quad and say shit about Quad when they were on the show to like pain Quad that she's the new wife of Dr. G. And I said you agreed to that by being on the show. So how am I supposed to feel bad for you right now that they've turned against you? Now she said those things on her YouTube review. Then Toya replied on Instagram and was like, "Baby girl, your complaints because she complains about everybody every week. That's why she's now a lower downgraded version of Dr. Heavenly. And if it continues, she'll probably become Doctor because you start something, you have to graduate. You don't remain the same when you start something. You always graduate. So Toya responded that, see, if you get tired, we are tired of your complaint every single time. Of this one did this one did this one did. If you're tired, leave. That's what Toya said to her. And remember, Toya was the closest person to her last season. Oh, I didn't even know you had left.
No, I don't know what happened. My phone just turned black, so I just tried to reboot
uh,
everything real quick.
okay. And Toya was her best friend last season, and this season, Toya, she has said bad things about Toya during her reviews, and Toya is like, you know what? If you're so tired of this group and everybody is every day always talking about them doing this, doing that, why don't you just leave the group? Imagine Toya saying that. That was the closest person to her,
Mm.
saying that to her. This happened last week.
Wow. Well, look, you're on the show. You're gonna have a bunch of different attitudes. It's not cool to do a heavenly on everybody. You know what I'm saying? They can accept it from heavenly because she's been doing it for a while. You know what I'm saying? If they get mad at her, then they forgive her. You're a totally different person. You're new coming into the group. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Deal with them in person instead of online where can't nobody give no feedback, where none of them can give you no feedback on it. You know what I'm saying? Um, Not cool, you know. Um, so I didn't know she was doing all that, but I still like Sweet Tea, but she needs to cool it with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And have these
Yeah, I,
conversations face to face. You feel like you were done
I,
bad, you
I,
feel like you were done
I,
wrong, save it for the reunion.
I still like Sweetie, despite everything. I'm still a Sweetie fan, right? But I just
Mhm.
feel like, there are so many times that I've been a fan of somebody, and as the long run, I stop being your fan.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at it that before it gets to that extent, is that I should cut some of the things she's saying, and or if she knows that it's emotionally draining to her, that she constantly has to come and rant online, she should leave.
Right. I just want to get one thing straight. I'm not a fan. I'm just a commentator. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna speak
Mm-hmm.
my mind on how I feel. Put myself in those scenarios if I haven't already been in those scenarios, and just kind of shed a little bit of light. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I just feel like, Sweetie, she's not doing the right thing. Being online, it's like sort of like being a telltale. You know what I'm saying? You're not giving everybody a fair chance to vote in on what's going on. Because, like I said, there's
Mm-hmm.
always different sides of the story. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's like if they said that to you, what did you say to them to make them say that to you? Don't leave
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
part out. You know, tell all the
Like
sides if
like
you're
this
going to tell
episode,
sides.
when she was putting herself in the conversation between Dr. Heavenly and Phaedra. Although she said she did that because Phaedra is her friend. What does Phaedra acknowledge Sweetie as a friend? People be throwing this friendship word around.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Mm.
I did like Phaedra's comment about the bad badly built bitch. Oh my god.
Linebacker.
Huh? You said the linebacker. Yeah, I liked badly built bitch. Oh my god. I'm like, oh, she be coming up with them sayings like booty challenged. I swear to God, she is so funny. you know, but oh, they're a mess. They are. They're a mess. They're a mess. I mean, they're grown. They're gonna do what they want to do, but damn, sometimes it just gets icky.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Right to Messing for now is one of the most interesting shows on Bravo.
It's what now?
One of the most interesting shows on Bravo.
Yeah, it is. It is. I like the show. I like the cast. You know, I'm kind of glad that they stopped being stuffy like they were, like maybe a season or two ago. When we were talking about, okay, they're like putting us to sleep, you know. But, and that we said they needed some new blood up in there. Now they got some new blood. I just pray that they all just learn how to get along. You know what I'm saying? You know, Dr. G, you are a psychiatrist. Maybe you should sit on your
Exactly.
own. Maybe you need to sit on your own couch. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because you are starting a lot of shit right now, you know. And like your homeboy said, Eugene, who had no words to kind of calm y'all down, you know what I'm saying? But as your homeboy said, you got a big mouth.
Yeah.
Learn to be quiet.
That
Learn to stop being so loquacious.
who the heck is this? Are you seeing the comment?
Let me see. I don't understand your
Ah,
question. Please stop running to the internet.
she said the person said, "Who is them?" I don't know what we're talking about, and I said I don't understand your question. And the person said, "Please stop running to the internet about me. I don't run tell him what effing shit." Who the heck is this?
I'm not sure.
Wow, I'm sorry, I don't know what. But anyways, let's not digress. Yeah, that's one thing that confuses me is that Dr. G is a psychiatrist. Like, I believe that they should be more calm-headed and more sensible than every other person. They should be able to handle crisis than us. We go to them when we break down. We go to them when we are effing up. So if somebody I'm going to when I'm effing up and breaking down doesn't know how to collect himself, like what why should I go for him for treatment? That's my question.
Yeah. Hey, I just wish they, all learn how to cope with each other and kind of get along. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And let's see some of their best sides of them. You know, I mean, I love going on the trip with them. You know what I'm saying? Because these days, you sure can't fly because the plane may fall out the air. But I'm just saying,
Not the job.
yeah, I'm gonna throw them jabs. But I enjoyed the trip until they start messing up the vibe. You know,
Mm.
I enjoy traveling with reality TV shows because hell, I probably never ever go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Especially with this economy. Shit. So it's it's nice to see this on TV, especially, you know, you see yourself, or you wish you could see yourself in that spot, in that place. How would you handle it? What would you do? Would you make the best of it? Would you make the most of it? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna bring all your problems to a whole nother state, start some shit where you can get locked up into their policies and how they expect you to behave in their country? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people do not think, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I just hope that the rest of this trip, like, show us some stuff. Let us see the food. Let us see some of the people that are out there. Show us some spots to go to if we're ever out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Show us some of the culture. Like, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
Show us you guys having a good time and being appreciative of where you are in life because everybody isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm asking too much. I don't know.
Actually, maybe I'm asking too much.
That
You, you.
this is the kind of stuff that I hope that I see with reality TV. Of everybody being appreciative of the spot that they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show us that, hey, life is good and life can get better. Show us how it's done.
Oh.
Because if I want some bullshit, I can go to the neighborhood bar and see all that. You know what I'm saying? But when I turn on the TV, you know, and I'm seeing, hey, these are my people, you know, these are my heartstrings on TV. Wow. Let me check them out. What are they doing? And I see them, all this camaraderie and shit. It just makes me go, damn. Like, do we always gotta act like this? Like, people, can we come together collectively? You know what I'm saying? And and show the possibilities of what could be. Yeah, you
Oh.
see what I'm saying? And how did you get
Mm.
there? Because we all want to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, is there a lesson learned in this shit? Or is this purely for entertainment?
Yeah.
you know, I'm sorry. I be getting too deep. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, 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 no. No, what you're saying is true because sometimes that's what I do watch right TV show for.
Yeah.
Because you know your life might be a mess, but I don't want to be watching mess also.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Then,
I want to be
then
watching people.
some people watch it for the, hey, my life is together. Let me watch somebody go through some bullshit because it's entertaining.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want my life to be full of bullshit and entertaining to other people. If anything, if I'm gonna be on TV, am gonna show you what could be. How could you get there? Let me show you what I had to go through to get where this is happening now for me. You know, there's gonna be a lesson. I'm gonna make you think. Outside the damn box.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I just hope because the preview for the next episodes to come,
Mm-hmm.
we see that Dr. G decided to get a restraining order. That part is not something I saw in my bingo card that was gonna
Wow.
happen.
I didn't
Yeah.
even see that part. I just seen that he said that they was leaving before.
Yeah, no, I don't think to
It's.
be in next week's episode. I'm talking about they did a mid-season trailer, right? And in
Mm,
the mid-season trailer, he got a restraining order against King. So King is not allowed to be around Dr. G. So automatically, if they are filming together, he's not gonna be there.
mm.
He he annihilated King from the group. And according to Heavenly, she said that it was at that moment the group like lost it because there have been so many fights
Mm,
with this group, right?
mhm. Right.
And nobody has called the cops on anyone.
Mm. And he's the first,
Nobody.
huh?
He is the first one. And he's
Wow.
giving me, guy, you haven't healed. Why the fuck will you want King away from you? If that you don't want to be seeing him every time. I'm reminded by the fact that, yeah, Quad is with a new man.
And they doing it 15 times a week.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That probably hurt his ego and shit. He probably couldn't even do it 15 times a week. You know what I'm saying? With all the Viagra and shit.
Oh,
You
Jesus
know,
Christ.
like, Girl,
Oh my God.
like these look, these people are what the early 50s, mid 50s. Like what the
Oh,
heck? You know. Except for what? King maybe. He might be like mid 40s, you know.
oh.
And Letitia, what
So,
is she like? Early 40s,
uh-huh.
you know?
So, so that I want to see how the dynamic will play out with this thing and how Sweetie will look at it, seeing that her husband, this is the first time. Because on the same trip, Dr. Heavenly and Sweetie were going at it too. They wanted to exchange blows, right? The
Right.
same thing happened with them. They literally, people had to separate them, right? Why didn't
Right.
Sweetie take up a restraining order on Heavenly, or why didn't Heavenly take up a restraining order on Sweetie?
Right.
Right? So it's giving, uh-huh. Yeah, that man hasn't healed from quad.
Right. Right.
Well,
You know, and Quad now has a defender that's gonna defend everything. You know what I'm saying?
she
When
he yeah, and I
when
think that's what's even upsetting for him, that quad now has someone that can, because all through last season when quad didn't have anybody, this argument was not there. They were
right.
parading the marriage, they were happy. All this did not happen.
Well, you
All of
know,
a sudden,
it
yeah,
didn't happen with Quad either because Quad was also in Dr. G's rim circle. They were they seen each other at different events that
yeah,
Quad came to. Quad wasn't saying nothing back then. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know really what's going on, but there are issues and there are problems,
Mm,
you know,
yeah.
because if you think about it, was she saying any of this, you know, when she first met Sweet Tea? Was she saying this when she was like, Dr. Greg, Dr. G, come here, Dr. G, you know, when they
Yeah.
see each other at the events that
Like
they
she
were
said,
having?
can I ask, can I get it? Can I get a hug?
Yeah, like you know, if you was done and you let it go and you shook it loose and set it free, why you want to hug? Because it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't for you, because it didn't serve you right, and you know it did you wrong, and shit, I wouldn't want no hug. Like, I don't even really want to breathe the same air as you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want your exhale to be my inhale. You know,
Mm.
I don't want your breath up on my face. you
Yeah.
know, shit.
Well, I guess we're gonna see how that will play out in the coming season. We saw that in the next episode, Dr. Heb, Sweetie and Dr. G left the trip. I want to see what happened, how the mentality was before they left the trip. So we're gonna come back here next week. Thank you guys for joining us on this week's review and recap. Thank you for the comment and appreciate. We're gonna see you guys same time next week to talk about the next episode of Married to Medicine. Have a nice day, guys.
Bye.